And in a couple days, we have a great conjunction of two planets. And each planet, Jupiter and Saturn, both rotate around the sun, just like we do. But Jupiter takes about 12 years, 12 Earth years to circle the sun. And Saturn takes 29.5. Both of them have a pedal like structure. They loop. So in their rotation, there's always a retrograde where the planet looks like it's moving backwards in the cycle, but it's creating loops. And it's very beautiful designs when you put them together, how they all loop together. And there's more loops for the Saturn because it takes longer for it to go around the sun. So Jupiter is the largest planet. You probably knew that. But did you know that if you added up all the other planets in the solar system, Jupiter is twice the mass of all the other planets added up together? It's huge. It's huge. And it represents growth and expansion. Jupiter represents healing and prosperity, good fortune. It's known as good luck planet. And this is a time about being expansive and imaginative in our vision of the future. So looking to what you want, it was what we always find cycles in life. And this is a cycle of ending and the beginning of a new cycle. So what do you need to leave behind in this cycle? And what do you truly want to bring forward with you into the next cycle? That's our contemplation today. So find yourself seated. If you're not already there, go ahead and close your eyes and commune with your breath. As you sit quietly here, you could imagine your body is just one point in space. There's space around you in the room that you're in. Let your attention grow to the size of the room you're in and all that space around. There's also space inside our bodies. But for now, expand out. Get expansive as Jupiter. So let your awareness expand to the space outside the room, maybe in the rest of the house, the rest of the building. There's space all around you, and you are one point. Even below you, there's space. Open up to more space and get more expansive. You're one point with all this space around you. And our breath is a connection to all that we're a part of. Find your Ujjayi breath. If you're not already there, create a soft sound through your throat and concentrate on that sound. You might make it subtle so that it's almost inaudible to anybody else except yourself. And while you breathe these next few rounds, I'm going to read a poem by Dana Folds. It's entitled Revelation. Revelation isn't shy. It doesn't come right out and say, "Here I am," but neither does it hide. Revelation dependably arrives whenever I create a bit of inner space between two fearful thought loops. It appears a sense of openness or grace, the taste of divinity and faith. Revelation isn't predictable exactly, but when I'm present, revelation is always near at hand, shining light upon my shadowed places, allowing me to see what was once hidden. Praise be for the revelatory awakening that happens day by day. the filling of my inner well with knowing, awe, and love. Bring your palms to meet to your heart center in Anjali Mudra. And as you wish, you can join me in one Om. Breath in. Namaste. Welcome. You can release your hands, and we're going to stay in a seated position. Open your arms out like a cactus. And bring your palms forward so your elbows go back a bit. And when your elbows go back, squeeze your elbows back even a bit more so you feel your shoulder blades hug together on your back. And then bring the hands back over your elbows, right? So the shoulder blades are drawing together on the back. But now you're going to broaden your shoulder blades. So can you pull them in? There's a contracting spiral and then a widening spiral that opens them apart. And where the balance is between those two ends. Now stretch your arms straight so that you can make a V shape with your arms and curl all your fingers into your palms. The thumbs stay pointing up. And with the shoulders blades sliding down your back, they're still hugging together on your back. Reach length through your arms and push out through your knuckles. Push the thumb up and the knuckles wide while the shoulder blades still draw together on your back. And then release your arms, roll your shoulder blades a couple times, and switch out your legs. Cross the other ankle in front. Same idea, bend your elbows, cactus arms. Wag the elbows forward this time. And when your elbows come forward, feel your shoulder blades, they kind of wing off of your back. So go back with the elbows and feel the shoulder blades hug in. So the hands tip forward a bit. Squeeze your shoulders in. Bring your hands over your wrists. So if your shoulders are way up to your ears, that's what you have to practice softening there first. You decide how much effort comes in. And then back to straight arms with the fingers curled in and your thumbs really stretching up. Like you're gonna touch the ceiling with your thumbs, reach the thumbs out. Soften the shoulders down your back and push out through your arm bones, lengthen your arms, really get a deep stretch. So the muscles are hugging circumferentially around your bones, and then you're shooting the bones out through the sheath of the muscles. And release again, roll your shoulders. And now twist toward your right side. Bring your left hand to your right leg and bring your right hand behind you. Prop up on your back fingertips if you can and push into the back hand to help lengthen your spine. Get the back hand as close into your body as you can and push into the floor to help lengthen, bend your front elbow and look back behind you. On an inhale, raise your back arm straight up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, lean to your left side. Just take a little side stretch, arcing. Inhale, raise the arm straight up to the ceiling. And then do that arc again as you exhale, reach and lengthen. Push down into your sitting bones and lift. And then lean off to the side again. Raise upright and unwind your twist. Come to center. And once again, flip the legs. If you want to straighten the legs out and give them a break before you go the other side, that's fine to do as well. Bring your right hand across and prop up on your left fingertips. You're trying to get your fingertips behind your sacrum or thereabouts, behind the middle of your back if possible and close into your body. Push into your back, fingertips into your sitting bones. Lengthen, bend both elbows, and feel your shoulder blades draw together on your back. Look way over your back shoulder. Push down to lengthen up as you breathe in, and then twist in as you exhale. Sweep the back arm up, inhale, and then lean to the right side. Exhale. Try to move as you breathe. The shoulder stays down even though you're reaching up through the fingertips, and arc over. So it's a flowing movement. Inhale, upright, and exhale to the side stretch. Inhale up to middle, and release your arm and leg. So holding onto your knees this time. Think cat-cow or cow-cat. So start with the arcing of the spine forward, chin up, shoulders back. And now as you tuck your tail, here your shoulders will round forward, chin to chest. Breathe in, rock to the front of your sitting bones, bend your elbows, pull the shoulders back. And then exhale, straighten your elbows, lean way back, and round your spine. Do that on your breath. Inhale, arc up. Exhale, round back. 2 more. Inhale. So opening up to the new. Jupiter represents the wondrous things that can occur. Come back to center and sit yourself upright. So I didn't memorize the exact date, but I think it was 1286 maybe was the last time this kind of conjunction was in the sky that was visible from the Earth. Think of that, 1200s, how much time has passed and all the space in between those moments. Bend your elbows and come back into your cactus arms. Oops, I want to add one more thing. Lower your arms down, please. So we're going to breathe through the nose, a sharp inhale, and then a little, do that now. One more. All right, now you got the arm, now we're going to add the arms. So back into the cactus arms, and we're going to do that breath while we twist. So I'm going to turn to my right, which is the opposite of you, but everyone twist to the right as you take your sharp inhale through your nose, and then out through your mouth, twist to the left. So together, inhale, exhale. Now you can keep your gaze ahead as you twist side to side, and that is the easier of the two. It's a little harder to turn your gaze, but keeping your ears in line with your arms. Last two. Then center to straight arms, remembering our move. Thumbs up, fingers in, shoulders soft. Stretch through your knuckles. Reach up to the crown of your head, too, if you could add another inch into your neck. Really lengthen. Close your eyes now and visualize the space between your two eyebrows and breathe. And release. Lower your arms down. Roll your shoulders back a few times. Open your legs forward in front with straight legs. Lean back into your hands. Circle your 2 feet in the same direction. So circle both feet one way, big circles. Circle both feet the other way. And now circle your 2 feet apart. Circle away and back in together. Then change direction. Flex your feet without lifting your heels. If you lift your heels, that means you're locking your knees. So keep the heels down, but look at your feet and try spreading all your toes. Start with the pinky side and spread that toe and see if the other toes follow. The pinky toe, so the pinky toe side of the foot pulls back toward your hips, but your big toe ball mounds push away. And in that, you should feel your legs. So if you walk your hands in closer now, so they're on either side of your front hips, and you're in a staff pose. So important here, and if it's impossible for you to get the low back to pull in, it's better to sit on something like a small blanket. So lift up, low back draws in, heart is high, shoulders are back. They're squeezing together on your back, but at the same time, find that broadening where you're really breathing and expanding into your back body so nothing's pinching. Stay here or raise your arms straight up from your shoulders or in an L shape. And if that's too much, just lower your arms back down again. So notice as your arms lift, if you tip your pinky fingers forward, palms face in, pinkies forward, reach your thumbs up and bring your chin to your chest. So when your chin drops down and you reach your thumbs up, can you feel your back stretching more? That's what we're going for. Now bring your head neutral and tip the thumbs back and reach the pinkies higher and just lift the chin a little bit, not a lot. And as you reach up to the pinky fingers, hopefully feeling the front plane more, the front of your body. Now find where middle is, where your pinkies and thumbs are reaching evenly, shoulders down, feet engaged. And then I'll float your arms down to your sides. And try a cross-legged seat one more time. So whatever leg you want to bring in front, sit tall through your spine. It's fine to sit on the small cushion here. If you need to, make yourself comfortable. We're going to go back into our cactus arms. So fixing the gaze ahead, the head doesn't move as the body moves. That's where we're all going to start. And then your head moves with your hands, with your elbows. The elbows stay straight across from each other the whole time. And we're going to practice movement here, how we're going to spin a little faster. I was thinking of Saturn with this one, you know, how everything's spinning all the time. Inhale to your right side, sharp breath. Exhale through your mouth. Keep your gaze forward and just move your arms side to side. Inhale. Keeping the gaze ahead at one point is one way, and if you want to go deeper, turn your head and look back toward the arm that's behind. A little faster. Last two. Center, straight elbows, fingers in, thumbs up, soft shoulders. Stretch out through your knuckles. Raise up through the crown of your head. Close your eyes and focus between your eyebrows. It doesn't matter if you see or don't see anything there. Just hold your attention there, but watch and be witness. What is it that you need to let go, that you're ready to shed? At the end of this cycle, what are you willing to leave behind? Release your arms as you wish, roll your shoulders. And just pause here for a moment. Feel the energy that's released. It's those actions for waking up our internal fire, that prana, life force energy that lives inside each of us. In this time, this huge planet of Jupiter really has a lot of reflection off of the sun, as does the planet Saturn, that conjunct. So the two of them together is going to be extraordinary. Bring yourself forward and make your way into table pose next. Open your right knee out to the right side and fire hydrant. And don't bend your elbows. Make sure both elbows are straight. And then from here, pausing, you're going to straighten your leg over to the left side, turn your gaze to the left, and see if you can see your heel. You may or may not. Now, keep the knee as high as your hip and bring the leg back to the right, but this time straighten the knee out to the side. like a karate kick. So you're going to swing the leg behind you, look left, inhale sharply, and then exhale with a ha to the right. Inhale, look left, exhale, ha, 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 ha. Try two more. Ha, ha, and then release back into your table pose and wag your hips side to side. You can feel how that's a hip opener. Start with the left leg and hold in fire hydrant pose. Try to lift the knee as high as your hip. Keep your arms straight. Slow motion to start. Bring your foot to the right as you gaze to the right. Inhale deep. Exhale, straighten the leg. Ha. 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 Two more. Ha. Ha. And all the way down. Try a child's pose now. Bring your knees together, heels toward your hips toward your heels, and lay over your legs. If you can, keep your legs close this time and bow your chest onto your thighs. Rest your forehead down. So Saturn, takes almost 30 years. So right before 29.5, when each of us turns 29.5 in age, that's called the Saturn return. So when we're 59, that's another Saturn return, 29.5 times 2. And it represents stability, ethics, virtue, also productiveness, precision, and focus. And the imaginative, creativity. So thinking into your future, what do you want to bring with you? What is important to you that is life-giving, that makes you feel really good, that you want to bring into this next cycle that we're in? Opening up to the light inside. So we do it to feel good, but it's also of service to the greater good. What is it that you are of service through? What do you use as your vehicle to offer yourself into the world? Excuse me. Come back up into your table pose. And straighten your right leg back on the floor with the toes tucked. Keep the foot on the floor, but lift the back of the right thigh, especially the inner right thigh, more up. Push your heel back so you feel a stretch through your calf. And keep your right arm as straight as possible as you twist yourself out to the left. Turn to the left. See if you can line your wrists one over the other. And then circle at your top wrist. Pause here and breathe in. And then twist in honor of Saturn. We're going to make a circle coming down, but not quite all the way to the floor. Feed the arm through. Push into your right arm to straighten. Keep your back leg nice and straight and twist back up. And then feed it through. So we're twisting into the circle, and then we're going to go a little retrograde and come back again. So we go backwards and make a loop. Exhale, lower, hover it, and then push to straighten. Last time up to the ceiling. Hold here. See if you can hold the hover. And if you can't hold the hover, you can drop onto your shoulder. But if you can hold the hover and you want more, try raising your right foot up. Spread your toes. And then release back into your table pose. Drop your right knee and pause. Straighten your left leg. So sometimes the leg gets forgotten when you start moving into your upper body action, but keep the leg steady and strong. Push into your left arm and twist yourself out to the right side this time. Work the hand first, circle out your wrist. So when we circle our ankles or we circle the wrists, we're stretching all the arms, all the muscles rather, here in the arm and the foot, obviously the leg. Pause and push into the bottom arm more and lower slowly. Come on down. Now, if you want to up the ante here, you could raise your back leg off of the floor, even as you're doing the spirals up and down. Hover. There's no big deal if you land. You can come back up, or you can choose to stay down and just work the twist. Last time, coming through. See if you can hover close to the floor with the back leg lifted or not. And then come back all fours. Once again, you're in table pose. Move into a downward facing dog. So in down dog, your wrists are forward from your shoulders, so you're not in a plank. And if you like, walk your dog. The word planet actually means wanderer. And aren't we all just that, wanderers in this world? We're all spinning in our own orbit. Each of us is a world unto itself. Nobody is quite like you or has your perspective of life. And we live inside our own thoughts. We think everyone thinks the same as we do, but we're each unique. Our life experience has created our thought patterns, our belief systems, and that's the orbit that we move in. Look to your hands and bring your feet and hands together in Uttanasana, the standing forward bend. Grab behind your calves today and look up with straight elbows, and then bend your elbows and help draw yourself down. Drop your head so your forehead is moving in the direction of your shins, and maybe pull your shoulder blades together on your back. So you hug the back of your thigh, your calves forward, pull your shoulders back, and hinge deeper from your hips. Release your hands, open your arms wide, and rise all the way up to standing. As you meet your palms, lower your hands straight down heart center, and also bend your knees so you end up in Uttanasana. Uttanasana is awkward pose. Why is it called that? Try raising your arms here and you'll find out. Swan forward fold with your hips reaching back, stretch yourself long and bow all the way forward. Halfway lift, look up. Exhale and bow. And now reverse swan dive. We're going to do that again. Palms overhead. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to your heart. Straight arms, inhale. Reach your hips back as you stretch long and fold. Lift in halfway, look up. Exhale and look between your legs. Push down to float back up, rising up, and go one more time through. Exhale into the squat. Inhale, follow breath by breath. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, full forward bend. And then wide open arms, stretch your palms. And bring your hands to heart center with straight legs this time. Close your eyes and feel. So yoga offers us this opportunity to look at life in a broader sense, the bigger picture. And You can't see life in much bigger of a picture than if you were looking from Jupiter all the way down to Earth. And we are each just one point in this massive, immense space. Come to stand in mountain pose with your feet hip width apart. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back. So to do that, you don't just pull them back. You have to take a deep breath in, feel your armpits rise up, and then they peel back. Make sure the head's not jutting forward when you do that. Instead, draw your ears back so the ears are aligned over your hips as well. And start with your hands to your hips now. So this is a flowing motion too, sort of like that twist we did earlier. Kick your left leg over to the right and then land it. And then the other leg crosses. So you're crossing the midline with your leg, side to side. You don't have to land perfectly, but kick, 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 kick. So you're crossing the midline, kick, and you decide how high you're kicking. And if you want to swing your arms, you can swing the arms. Crossing the midline with your arms as well as the leg is another option. And your gaze is most likely fixed in one point, right? Anytime we do a balancing anything on one leg, you want your gaze fixed. How's your breath going? Cross, cross. So it doesn't matter what it looks like. This is a very easy flowing movement. You just want to cross the midline each time. And what does that do? It actually crosses the two hemispheres of the brain together. So think of action and imagination, the real world and our creative world, the masculine and the feminine. Cross the hemispheres of your brain with this simple exercise, and we're going to be more balanced and steady and clear as a result. Last two. And then stand. Once you stand, you might want to indeed keep your gaze open, but see if you feel anything inside. Sometimes you might feel even a slight bit nauseous. That can be the Kundalini awakening. We're waking up our inner source of energy. Feel the vitality that comes with, it's such a simple movement and yet it has very powerful effects. All of these planetary alignments, like they have huge powerful effects that we can't even comprehend, and yet their energies are affecting us. So that's why it's good sometimes to do research on what symbology, what certain things represent. Step forward and into your mountain pose once again. We're going to practice Uttanasana, the awkward pose. You can have your hands to your hips or have your arms overhead, either one. Sink your hips back. So we were doing the exhale through the mouth before, the ha, but this time it's all through the nose. As you inhale, straighten your legs, come up. Exhale, a slow motion swan dive. Inhale, lift up to a flat back and hold your breath in for a moment. Hold the breath in, hold it in, hold it in, and exhale. Rise to standing all the way up, palms meet overhead and down your midline back to heart center. Close your eyes if you feel stable to do so. Or keep the eyes open as you breathe. So Kapalabhati is the forceful exhalation through your nose. You don't concentrate on your inhalation as much. You just trust it's going to happen. If you're new, you want to go slower with the Kapalabhati. The slower it is, the easier the pace. If you're more experienced with it, it can go as fast as. So it's up to you how much you want to, the level of pace that you're willing to go for it. It expulses all these toxins out from the body. I always think of, it's called skull shining breath. So sometimes you can feel tingling in your skull, but I always think of the mitochondria of the cell being like squeezed out, all those little powerhouses. They're exhaling all the toxins. So this is the part we're getting rid of. Anything you want to leave behind in this cycle, whew, let's do it. Remember, you can have hands to your hips as an alternative. Bend your knees. Make sure the knees are not knocking in. Mine tend to knock in. You want to make sure the center of the knee stays out to the center of the ankle. You can squeeze your heels in and pull your inner thighs apart. Keep your hands to your hips or straight arms, and if you wish, join me. Push down to rise up. Swan dive. Exhale through your mouth this time. Inhale, halfway lift, and hold your breath. Hold in. When the need for breath is strong, forward fold. Rise and inhale all the way up once again. Lower your hands to heart center. Keep your eyes open if you feel dizzy. Close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. And feel. And then release your arms. Very good. Let's try a balance pose. We'll make a tree. So remembering a tree, your heel can be in your inner ankle with the foot out to the side, inner calf. If you have flexibility to bring the foot to your inner thigh, go for it. Open your bent knee back behind you and bring your palms to meet together in front of your heart. And then root yourself, ground deeply into your standing leg and feel the length and growth come up through your spine. So the revelation poem I shared at the beginning of class, you can't make revelation happen, but you can prepare the ground for it. Ground in, be embodied here, feel all your parts, and then grow your branches. Maybe you want to grow to a V shape. Maybe arms straight up or cactus arms. Feel your shoulder blades hug onto your back, just like we did at the start of the class, and grow your arm bones longer, reaching out through every finger. Bring your palms to meet and to heart center once again. Release your pose and tree and stand evenly on both legs once again. Try the other side. And it doesn't have to look the same. It could be a different version of the same pose. So cycles repeat. And it's really up to each of us to make do with what we have. In a tree pose, a common misalignment is that people tend to thrust their hips forward and kind of sink into their joints. Try to bring your hips more back. And then scoop under more strongly on that bent leg. Scoop the bum under. Palms to heart, or open your arms overhead. Vrikshasana, the tree. So trees, the roots are most important in your tree. Big toe ball mound, root down. And if you don't let that waver, you're less likely to fall out of the pose. Keep the big toe ball mound down and the winds of life will blow you, but you'll still stay rooted. Ground into your heart from your shoulder blades, hug to the back body, and from the shoulder blades, stretch out long through your arms and out through each bone of your fingers. How's your breath? One more time, ground yourself, push the floor away, reach up so you grow taller. We're all growing right now, whether we like it or not. Release the pose. Any way you come back and stand in Tadasana once again, mountain pose. Maybe try closing your eyes. So closing your eyes is just a step in. Allow yourself to be a little more sensitive to what you're feeling. And what is it that you want to bring with you forth? We don't we don't recognize how much power we have individually, how our thoughts are really manifesting our future. If we could visualize this positive future together, our thoughts are so powerful. Even if we're individually focusing on our own futures in the best way, and collectively, that moves us all forward in the best way. So let's take one Vinyasa Flow from the front, palms to your heart. Sink your hips as you raise your arms up straight, Uttanasana, the awkward pose. And then reach the hips back and lengthen yourself forward to fold. Halfway lift, look up, and a full forward bend. Step both feet back into your plank pose and lower through Chaturanga or knees, chest, and chin. You can lift into an upward facing dog, shoulders stay on the back, or cobra, and then roll up over your toes to downward facing dog. Lift your right leg to the ceiling, breathe in, hug the knee into your chest and plank, and then step the foot up. Drop your back knee or keep it lifted and raise your arms in one breath up. Arms come forward, exhale down. Step your right leg back and plank, exhale as you lower. Breathe in and lift, open the front of the heart, and breathe out into downward dog. Breathe in, lift your left leg, exhale, hug the knee in close to your chest, and step. Push into your legs and reach through your arms, stretch up. Exhale, forward and down. One more time in plank. Chaturanga Tadasana. Cobra or upward facing dog. And back into a downward facing dog. And breathe. If you prefer child, take that. And then everyone, drop onto your knees. If you're not already there, try a wide-legged child's pose. With your knees apart, reach your hips toward your heels. Bow your forehead down. Come back up and to a seated position once again. So here, we're going to do a short chant. This too is from the Kundalini tradition. So opening up this life force inside is part of it. And it's in words that you don't know, they're not English words. And chanting these words, the mantras, there's many translations of them. This one is to protect us. It's to protect us from harm. And also, this chant opens us up to the highest wisdom. An English translation might be, I bow to all that is. So just thinking of the immensity of our universe and the multiverse, all that is, that's rotating and circulating in its cycle, way beyond the mystery that of what we can comprehend. I bow to that inner light, that inner wisdom that guides everything in nature, including ourselves. So the words are O-N-G, Ong. Say that, O-N-G, Ong. Ong, Namo. Say that, Ong, Namo. And then Guru Dev, G-U-R-U-D-E-V, Guru Dev, is opening to the teacher inside, that light of consciousness, that presence that teaches, that we each have inside. Guru Dev is that honorary teacher that lives inside each of us. And then Namo. So the whole thing is Ong, Namo, Guru Dev, Namo. And I'm going to start singing it. I know it's going to be awkward to sing on your own at home, but if you so choose, join me in the chanting because the words are powerful. I bow to all that is. This is how it goes. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Try that. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Keep going. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. 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 One more time. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Feel the reverberation, the vibration left from the chant, clearing us out, opening us to new ways of thinking, new ways of being and acting in this world. Palms to the heart. I bow to all that is. And then keeping that internal awareness, that internal focus, slowly make your way onto your back. And as you lie down, draw your knees into your chest and hold on. You might rock gently side to side if you choose. So Jupiter and Saturn coming together, this conjunction, it's a vision of our future. It's a combination of an expansive and imaginative future. Keep your knees into center and bring your hands to interlace behind your head. Let your head rest into your hands and straighten your legs up to the ceiling. With your ankles right over your hips, spread your toes like we did earlier. Push the big toe ball mounds up. Think of big toe ball mounds are Jupiter. They're going to push. They have great gravitational pull. Your big toe ball mounds are being pulled up into space. But the pinky side will pull them down. Spread your toes. Feel your leg muscles. See if you can feel the skin hug to muscle, hug to bone on all sides when you spread your toes. Now keep your feet active and alive and open your feet as wide as they can go. Go slowly. It's not something to do fast. Take like 30 years to widen your legs here. Push your heels out. Push the big toe ball mounds out, but pull the pinky sides back toward your hips. Feel the stretch of your inner thighs as you push the feet wider. And now bring the feet together, but push like you're pushing against something. So again, it's a gravitational pull, almost magnetic and yet opposed. So there's a squeezing in, but the legs don't touch. They're going to come back up hip distance. Now go wide again. Spread your toes. Go slow. And stay there and just work on activating the feet. If you want to go deeper, lift your head and shoulders and pulse, pulse, lift, lift. Push out through your feet, pulse, pulse, pulse. Keep your head heavy so you're not straining your neck here. Really want to isolate at your core. Release your head and shoulders. And then bend your knees, but keep them wide apart. Knees are wide. And just let's call this our orbit. As wide as your legs will go apart, that's your orbit today. Now you're going to have one hand on each knee. Keep your knees wide, but push your right knee all the way to the floor. Keep the knees wide as they can go, but the right knee all the way till it touches the floor. And then only when that right knee touches will the left leg come and stack on top. Keep your hands on your kneecaps and lift just your left leg up into a wide straddle again. And as you push the left knee out to the left side, push it all the way to the floor. And once it hits the floor, only then does the right leg travel and come on top. So this is slow motion. The top leg initiates the movement. Go wide. Press the knee to the floor and bring the top leg to stack on top. Do that one more each way. Feel the stretch between your legs as you open up wide into your orbit. And the next time you travel to your right side, next time the knees are both stacked onto the right side, stay there. So the left knee stacks on top of the right knee, and then you're going to circle your top arm. Again, we're orbiting. This is a big circle of Saturn, all the way out to the sides. Brush your fingers over your hips. So it's like a backstroke. Your top arm is circling. Find your range of motion, and it's different for everybody. Try not to wince. If you're wincing, you're probably pushing a little too far. There should not be any shooting pain happening in this movement. If there is, please do less or skip it. Circle one, more big circle. If you can brush your fingertips toward the floor, go for it. And then you're going to end with your left arm out to the left side like a T, straight out from your shoulder, palm faces up. Raise your left foot and leg up away from the right. With your foot flexed, paddle your top leg. Circle from the hip and the knee. Big circle as you can. So make the leg straight and bend. And now reverse direction. Circle the other way. Back into stacking your legs, knee on knee. Put your right hand on top of your left leg for a moment and take a few deep breaths. See if you want to roll your chin to the right toward your bent knees or to the left, or keep it neutral. And now to exit, bring your left hand to your left kneecap, and like you did earlier, lift that, just that knee wide. Press it all the way to the left side, and you'll stack the right leg on top. Once your legs are stacked, stretch your right arm up and overhead, behind you. Brush your fingertips over your hip. Circle from your shoulder. And try not to go too fast. The slower you go, the more you're going to feel your edge. Find where your edge of orbit is here. Circling way out to the side and around. And then end with the arm back, straight out from your right shoulder. If your right shoulder can be on the floor, all the better. Lift and hover your right foot, your right leg, and circle. From your hip, open and bend your knee as part of the circle. Change direction. Last two. And then stack your legs once again. Left hand on top of your right leg for the spinal twist here. Take a deep breath in and out. And release, come through center. Draw your knees back into your chest and hold on once again. Place your feet flat on the floor. Sorry, with your knees bent. And walk your feet in close to your hips as they'll come. So you probably can't see your feet, but you want them hip width apart, just like they would be in mountain pose, with second toes parallel to each other. Place your arms at your sides, straight arms. And then lift up your shoulders and just tuck your shoulders a little firmer onto your back. So our practice today is holding the shoulders firmly on the back and getting that connection into your center core. And just like the star, the sun, we're all little suns. We contract, we pull in, and we shine out simultaneously. Push your shoulders back, your head back, and lift into your hips. So push into your legs, let the hips come up. And then once your hips are up, bring your first two fingers of each hand where the creases of your thighs are. And then soften the creases of the thighs by dropping your hips back. Make the groins hollow. Scoop the tailbone under without thrusting the groins forward, and see if you can lift your hips up a little higher. And then try that same action. Soften the groins, create low back curve, scoop the tail, push into your legs to come up. You can keep your arms straight or interlace your hands. If you do interlace, even more, press, rock one shoulder under and then the other. Push into your arms, push into your feet and your head. Make sure the chin is not coming to your chest at all. Chin to the ceiling. Root from your upper palate back. And from your upper palate, try to stretch your knees away from the upper palate and the top of your mouth. Stretch your knees forward. And release your hands if you have them interlaced. Roll down your spine. And once your hips land, try bound angle pose. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees open, and maybe palms face up at your sides. So again, we're one point in space. When we think of ourselves like that, we're little light bodies. And yet we have great power. Our thoughts have power. They have an effect upon the whole. So we're not insignificant. If we're living in worry and fear all the time, that's what we're offering to the world. And it's normal in these times to be worried and fearful. And yet, even more so, we have to cultivate this faith in something greater than ourselves. Pull your knees back together and into your chest. Keep your knees in and interlace your hands behind your head again. Lift your head and shoulders up without bringing your chin to your chest, so keep the chin up. Stay here and start pushing your head back into your hands as your hands support your head. Feel the head pushing back, and hopefully in that you'll find your abs more lifting you up, not your neck. Now cross your left elbow to your right knee as you straighten the left leg long. Come center as you bend your left knee, and then twist your right elbow to your left knee as your right leg goes long, and center. So exhale, twist. Inhale, middle, with both knees bent. Exhale, the other side. Now keep pushing your head back into your hands, even as you twist toward your bent knee. So you twist toward one bent knee and the other leg extends, or you can keep the knees bent the whole time. You could also do this with the feet on the floor. 2 more each way. Draw both knees into your chest and hold on again. Straight legs to the ceiling one more time. So this is an inversion. To modify it, try sitting on your hands. If you bring your thumb tips and index tips to touch, make a triangle right under your sacrum in the low back. What you don't want is your feet way over your head. So make the legs, the ankles straight up from your knees. And those of you who want to practice shoulder stand and you're familiar and comfortable, you can lift your hips away from the floor. But keep your chin to the ceiling, everybody. Don't bring the chin to the chest. That flattens the back of the neck. You want a nice curve, a healthy curve in the back of your neck. Root your head back into the floor. Spread your toes in whatever version you're working. Keep the legs engaged. Push your big toe ball mounds to the sky, right into inner space, and pull the pinky side back. So the conjunction is powerful in itself, but it's coming on the winter solstice, the year 2020. This winter solstice, the changing of the seasons, but the winter solstice is also when we're closest to galactic center. From the eye of the earth, we're in the middle of the Milky Way, in the center, the closest that we can be. So it makes it even more powerful because our consciousness, it says that the light of the sun gets its energy from the center of our galaxy. The galactic center is where the power of the sun comes from. Last few breaths here in your inversion. And release. Bend your knees into your chest. Hold on around your legs once again. And then make your way toward a posture for relaxation. We made it to Shavasana. Use any props you'd like for your comfort. And you may cover yourself too as your body temperature always drops. Once you find yourself comfortably resting, make any little adjustments now. Maybe you want to walk your shoulders behind you so that the palms can open more readily. Adjust your neck so that you have a nice curve in the back of your neck. And feel the heaviness take over the whole of your body. And that's what you want to leave behind. If you know exactly what it is, or you're not quite sure, but you have a willingness to leave behind that which is no longer working for you, some thoughts or beliefs, let them go just by sinking into the floor here. So we use the posture metaphorically, absorbing back into infinite space. All energy is just transformed. It's never truly lost, and yet we can release it out and it's transmuted into other kind of energy. Feel the heaviness of your body as sinking down, as a willingness to release. You don't need to keep holding on to low vibrations. Even if you've held them your whole life. Jupiter represents higher learning. We open up to more than what we already know. From the heaviness of the letting go, when you really feel a deep release, your body is safe here right now, right in this moment. Everything is okay. There's nothing to be fearful of in this very moment, which is true in most moments. We just, we might spiral into worry of some future moment. In this very moment, really recognize you are okay. This chant, again, I'm going to chant it softly, connects each of us to the highest wisdom inside. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev
In this receptive place, listen deeply again. These words of master poet Dana Folds, titled Revelation. Revelation isn't shy. It doesn't come right out and say, hey, I'm here, but neither does it hide. Revelation dependably arrives whenever I create a bit of inner space between two fearful thought loops. It appears a sense of opening or grace, the taste of divinity and faith. Revelation isn't predictable exactly, but when I am present, revelation is always near at hand, shining light upon my shadowed places and allowing me to see that what that once was hidden. Praise be for the revelatory awakening that happens day by day, the filling of my inner well with knowing, awe, and love. Begin to deepen your breath now as you make a slow way back. Move and stretch as you wish. Roll to one side for a few breaths. And back to a seated position. Palms to heart center. So another amazing thing about this conjunction, it's actually in the first degree of Aquarius. So literally entering the age of Aquarius. You know that fifth dimension song, you'll know what I mean. The air sign. We've been an earth sign for many, many millennia. At least one millennia we've been an earth sign. Now we open to the air. That which you want to bring with you, bow into that knowing, the awe and the inspiration. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you for joining. Have a great day.